Hello there, Vanagon Addicts. This is Ken Wilford here at Vanagon. I hope you can join us and be with us today. We are trying out some new hardware and stuff and things that way. So, are we showing the picture of the van right now, or what are we showing? Okay, so let me transition. Here we are. Okay, so I've been trying to use some new software for a while to see if we could do that and do some special effects and make it a little bit more professional. And I guess I finally have it working for once, so that's awesome. But it's good to have you folks out here with us today. Hope you are having a great day. Hope you're happy to be here with us to talk about all things Vanagon and all things Volkswagen. And so that's what we're going to give it a shot here today. So things are starting to progress here at Vanagon. It's getting to be springtime finally, after about 25 snowstorms and last week we had 2 days without electricity. We had sketchy internet. I had to use my phone internet. That was garbage. So we had a lot of fun last week, but we finally got things under control. This week we're doing great. So it's good to see you guys. I see some folks in the chat here. We got Costas, Steve DeRuiter's there. Happy Easter. And I put on there, this is going to be our Easter special. Basically, why we're doing Easter special is I still have some stuff to give away. So, here in the stuff, if you're here in the chat and you haven't gotten a Vanagon or bus calendar, let me know. We will give you one of those as an Easter present. And if you didn't get anything from us in a while, we'll give you something as a present. Okay, so I've got some calendars. I think I have 3 calendars left. I have some German hand cleaner left. I have 3 things of that. I have some mugs left that we can give away, you know, 1 per person for all this stuff. So if you're interested in getting an Easter present from us, just let me know in the chat. Or if you're here, like say tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, you didn't get to come in the chat, then, you know, just let me know. So some of you guys have already gotten some stuff. I know Chuck Ott was here a few weeks ago. I gave him a calendar. So if you already got one thing, and some of you guys got hand cleaners already, got calendars and different things. I mean, I'm not going to send you more stuff if you've already got something. So, but, you know, I just want to say thanks to you guys for supporting us, for being here for us, and for, you know, watching the stream and that kind of stuff. So we definitely appreciate it. So what do we want to talk about today? Alright, well, I guess one of the things I wanted to talk about a little bit was actually Volkswagen. So let me go ahead and do this, okay, and then I can transition to it, and it's going to be weird, so give me a second. Alright, you see us, we're still there, we're down in the corner, okay. And now we're on our desktop here. I tried to switch off of the desktopception as fast as I could. Alright, here's something I want to talk about. It's kind of driving me a little bit crazy, and I know some of you guys have different opinions about this. This is Volkswagen Dieselgate. Okay, so everyone should know about Volkswagen Dieselgate. Volkswagen Dieselgate is the situation where Volkswagen cheated on their diesel emissions testing so they could get it through, and because of that they got fined $7 billion or something. They got like a humongous fine, and then they had to either bring in the vehicles and reset them up so they would pass emissions, or they had to crush the vehicles, or they had to do something like that. So, you know, all that stuff sounds all fine and dandy, okay? Because, you know, Volkswagen did wrong. I'm not trying to defend what they did. They did wrong. They should have either said, hey, we can't do this. We can't meet this emissions test, which apparently they could not with their technology. Or they should have said, you know, like they had been saying for a long time, hey, we're not going to sell diesels to North America. Okay, I mean, I remember back in the 90s, you really couldn't get one, okay, for a long time, and they kept saying it was because they wanted to have the technology to where they wanted it, okay, but now we're into this situation here, You can see in this picture, this is the Pontiac Silverdome in Michigan parking lot. I have seen even more pictures from another place out in Arizona where you have a massive Volkswagen parking lot situation going on. 30,000 vehicles have been taken off of the road and put into these holding areas. They're supposed to be getting the emissions fix, and then they're going to get resold, or they're going to get crushed. Okay? And so here's what I feel about the situation. Okay? I know some of you guys might disagree with this, okay, but I'm going to rant about this for a second, and then we'll be over with it. Alright, the whole point of this situation is because Volkswagen cheated on their emissions, right? Then the cars were going to put out more emissions, whether it be sulfur or soot or whatever was going to happen because the emissions wasn't up to the specification. And so, you know, over the lifespan of the vehicle, there's going to be X amount more emissions put out because of that, and that's not good. Okay, if somebody has asthma or you have breathing difficulties or whatever, you know, that's not good. And smog is bad, acid rain is bad, all that stuff's bad. Alright, so we all know that. However, let me ask you a question, okay, and be honest. Now, which would be worse? Okay, one of these vehicles, one of these 30,000 vehicles that's out there putting out emissions a little bit higher than what it's supposed to, okay, for the lifespan of it, maybe it's 10 years, maybe longer, probably not, okay, the way stuff's going now, I mean, 10 years is about the lifespan of a vehicle, really. In 10 years, these cars are going to be like dinosaurs compared to everything else out there. I mean, probably be electric cars at that point. So, anyway, what I'm trying to say is, which do you think is going to make less emissions? That cheated car over the course of the next 10 years of its life, or taking that car, transporting it, okay, to these different locations on the back of like a Big Mac truck, which is running on diesel, by the way, and gets to these locations, dumps these vehicles off. Then these vehicles have to be retrofitted. So there's all this energy and things being put into them again after they've already been made. Now you have to put more energy into them to do these fixes. Then we have to take those again, reship them out to dealerships, or ship them out to scrap yards and things like that. And then finally, you're dealing with the loss of these vehicles. So these vehicles have to be replaced by a whole nother vehicle. Okay, so the 10-year lifespan of this thing has been either completely lost. Okay, so all the energy, all the emissions and whatever that went into building these cars, okay, is completely wasted and gone. Okay, and now you have to redo it, a whole nother set of emissions and things for this vehicle to make another one to replace this with. Okay, and so to me, the whole point of this Dieselgate situation, the thing that people were getting so upset and mad about, is that, you know, Volkswagen was going to be polluting more than they should be. Okay, and they should be held accountable for that. I'm not saying that. But the remedy of the situation, to me, should have just been, okay, we're going to fine you, okay, the owners, they can continue to use the cars, and we'll just fine Volkswagen, and then that'll be it. Okay, because ultimately, at the end of the day, you know, that would have been the least, like, thing that would cause the least amount of emissions. Okay, now, instead of just finding them, they have to go through this process that's causing way more emissions, most likely, than what the original problem was in the first place. So, in other words, I think this process of pulling these cars in, storing them, refurbishing them, reshipping them, crushing them, replacing them with other cars, is actually going to generate more toxic waste, more emissions than if these cars had just been left alone out there driving around for like 10 years. And then they would still have, of course, been scrapped, but at least they would have had like a useful lifespan where they could have gotten used before they got scrapped. So, I mean, what do you guys think about this situation? Okay, I'm sorry to rant about this, but to see these pictures of a humongous, you know, car lots full of these cars, yeah, it just brings home the idiocracy of this process to me. So, yeah. Alright, so we're going to move on. Does anybody have any comments? Do we have any comments on that?
Costas said, one lesson we learned here, do not get the emissions fixed. The car will burn more and run rough for some reason.
Okay. That's the grease way. That's the grease advice. Alright, go ahead.
That's it.
That is it. Alright, great. I'm glad everybody feels so strongly about this. I mean, if you're watching this tomorrow, you can put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think we have a big group here today, so let's...
6.
6. Okay. All right, so let's continue on. I mean, we won't... Hey, if you guys aren't here or whatever, we will just... We'll move on with our lives. Okay? All right, so I'm moving on from the Dieselgate deal. I will try to not speak of it again.
This truck is pretty.
All right, so now we're going to go to something I just actually found out about today. This truck here. Okay, so when I see this truck... This brings me back to when I had my first car, which was a 1982 Volkswagen pickup truck. Okay, it was a Caddy, what they call a Caddy in the rest of the world. It was based off a Rabbit, made in Pennsylvania, and it was basically just like a Rabbit front, and then you have, you know, a bed in the back. And I really loved that vehicle. I thought it was great. Sadly, that plant in Pennsylvania did not last. They made Rabbits for a while, and then they went under. Probably when they moved to Mexico. So, this particular vehicle here is on Jalopnik. This is actually called a... some weird name I've never heard of before. The Saverio. Okay, I had to look at that real quick. So, it's called a Saverio. To me, it's a Caddy. I don't know why they would call it a Saverio. Probably just because it's in Mexico and they're trying to make it sound weird and stuff. But, you know, basically, it's like actually based on another car I'd never heard of called a Volkswagen Gol, G-O-L. Apparently, it is a smaller Golf. So if you want to make a small Golf, just take the F off, apparently, at the end, and then now it's a Gol, okay? So it's a Gol, which they apparently had made in the 80s. Like a miniature Golf. And then ever since the 80s, they claim since 1983... They've been making this pickup version down there in Mexico. We're not going to get it. Okay, so don't get too excited. And it's $11,000 if you could buy it down there. They even have a crew cab version. You can see that here where it's got like a 3-person bench behind the front things. I would love to have had that on mine. But so now you know about the Saverio? Savia? I don't know.
Savero.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so you know about that. Okay, then there's also, of course, the bigger brother of this, which is the Amarok. Okay. And again, the Amarok is not sold here in the U.S. They're more like a full-size pickup, and then you can also have crew cab versions of that. I've seen them in Central America, and I think they also do sell them in Mexico as well. And it's a pretty sweet-looking truck. I've never actually driven one, but maybe one of these days. But, alright, so what got me to thinking about these trucks is that... Are you ready? Bam. Nope, let me go back to the top. That was uneventful. Alright, so they have this new concept vehicle. I mean, that's what's so hysterical about this now. So this is a concept vehicle. Volkswagen has what they call the Atlas SUV. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It looks a lot like the Ford, what do they call that thing? Explorer. I always call it Exploder because the early ones were pretty much blew up every 10 minutes. But the Ford Explorer, if you see that, you see the Volkswagen Atlas, they look a lot the same. Okay, they're very similar. Except for the sad part is the Volkswagen Atlas is actually cheaper now than the Ford Explorer, which why. But anyway, so because the Atlas, it's actually made in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Okay, the Atlas is made down there at the Volkswagen plant in Chattanooga. I used to live in Chattanooga, and when I left, that's when Volkswagen moved there, so thanks for that. So they're already building these Atlases in the U.S. They're thinking about possibly building this Atlas Tan Oak. And this is what I'm calling a Tan Oak. Alright, that's the most simplest Volkswagen name I've ever heard in my life. I mean, Atlas is simple, number one. It's not a tiger iguana. Right? A Tiguan. A tiger iguana.
What in the heck?
Yeah, that's their other little SUV that they used by mashing up tiger and iguana. I'm sure two things that apparently
go together.
Blend super great. The only way that would happen is if the tiger ate the iguana, but whatever. Alright, so they have nothing to do with each other. So now they have this Atlas. That's a cool name, and Americans can say that word. And then also the Tan Oak. We can say that. Like, you could put some tan pieces of oak in the back here. That'd be great. Okay. So this is a concept vehicle. And I think it should probably be made. I mean, Volkswagen pickup trucks, you know, Volkswagen is finally coming to life here. Okay, it's finally coming to life with, you know, stuff that Americans actually want. Okay, Americans have been wanting SUVs for a while, and we want an affordable one that you can actually, you know, like purchase and things. And we've been getting the Touareg instead, which is not affordable and super expensive. If you have the V10 diesel, I wish you the best, my friend. Because apparently anything you want to do on that, to work on it, will require removing the motor.
Ugh.
And be redunculously expensive. So this new Atlas, you know, looks like something that's, I mean, it's made in the U.S. It can have, you know, 3 bench seats and stuff, similar to another vehicle which shall remain nameless that we drive in all the time. Because that is also made in the United States, so I will not mention it in this broadcast. And so, you know, it's a pretty nice vehicle, I think. The Atlas is nice, and this truck version, that should be nice. Okay, so let me know what you guys think. Should Volkswagen bring a pickup truck in here? I mean, we've got our Chevy fans, we've got our Ford fans, the Toyota Tacoma. My brother just bought one of them after years and years of buying Chevys, and his last Chevy, like, melted from rust. And, you know, this is like 2018 and stuff, so like metallurgy and stuff is known science, but apparently Chevy forgot about that and made their trucks out of Alka-Seltzer Plus or something similar. I mean, Chrysler has made their trucks out of Alka-Seltzer Plus for years, believe me. You can see a brand new Ram truck. It's like a couple years old. The entire back bumper is like made out of like silver tin foil, and it's got cankered from the inside out.
Ugh.
But
I like the way this truck looks.
you know, Volkswagen hasn't really been in the truck market here in the U.S. since 1983 with my Caddy that I had, and believe me, this thing is a lot more of a truck than that ever was. I mean, that was a truck, but it was more like a rabbit, pretty much. All right.
This one looks really cool.
I mean, the truck in the 80s was the Vanagon. You know, so alright, so let me know in the comments what you guys think about the new possibility of the Tan Oak and words that we can say in the English language. Alright, so let me go back to my new fancy schmancy thing here and go to transition. Bam, and now we're back to the full screen, which I know is what you guys like the most. You know.
Peter Benici says, morning.
Hey, guys.
Steve DeRitter says, tailgate.
Tailgate. I hear you, man. I mean, it's not for everybody, believe me.
Costas said, cool, but a little too big for me. Probably good for the U.S. market.
Yeah, I mean, here in the U.S., we want
big
truck. It has to look muscular. It has to look like it's going to punch somebody in the face.
Super manly.
And,
it has to look super manly.
And, you know, crap out thunder and eat lightning and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we need. And it has to, like, you know, they see the commercials. They're pulling, like, I don't know, a yacht or something behind it. Why? I don't know. But, you know, for us, it's a work vehicle. So a lot of people do use that as a work vehicle. they do, you know, it gets work done. Some people buy it as a luxury car and drive it all around. I've had pickups before. I stopped getting them because people always would want you to do stuff. Like if you have a pickup truck, okay, number one, people will take their trash and just throw it in the back whenever they happen to walk by. So you turn into like a mobile trash can. That's not good. And you'll come out of the mall or come out of some store and you'll see like some tin cans in the back that weren't there before, and bags from McDonald's and stuff. So yeah, that's not good. But the other problem you run into is like your friends, man. They will be like, "I'm fixing to move, and we're good friends, right? So you need to come over and we'll help me move, and I'll give you like water to drink." I had this one family that when I was in college, I've never got over this. They were moving, okay? So had a college full of the young guys, and you know, it was a Christian college. We try to help each other out, do nice stuff for each other. So this guy's a missionary family, and he comes over to the dorm. He's like, "Hey, I need some guys to help us move, and we will feed you guys and give you guys a meal and stuff like that." I'm like, "Sweet." So I'm into it. So we went over there, and we worked hard, man. We like helped these people move. They had washer machines and dryers, and I mean every heavy thing you can imagine. Now we didn't go up a bunch of flights of stairs, so that was one thing. But we did a lot of hard work, and this was down in the south. It was hot. So anyway, as we were doing this work, getting towards the end, the husband's going like, "Okay, so thanks a lot, guys," and everything. And I'm like, "Where's the food at?" Like, and the wife's like, I didn't buy any food because, you know, we're just moving in and stuff." And yeah. And
do you
then
not need food?
And she's like, I have like some water from the sink that I could give you to drink things. And I'm like, and it wasn't even cold. Alright, it was like warm water from the sink.
Wow.
That's all that we got. Alright, that was messed up.
That is messed up.
Like, they couldn't call the pizza place on the phone. "Hey, pizza place, bring 2 large pizzas here," and, you know, whatever. No.
Sodas,
No. So they pretty much lied to us, and then took advantage.
Gypped.
And then we helped them move, and the only satisfaction I get is that when we moved their washing machine, it was like a trailer, and the floor wasn't fastened down, and we ripped the floor. So there you go. I mean, that sounds mean, doesn't it? But they didn't give me a pizza, and they promised it.
That's so.
You don't promise me pizza and not give it, because
Yeah.
there will be problems in the future. Believe me. All right. So, but if you want to get on my good side, pizza. Bam, nailed it. All right. So now I'm done whining about that 25-year-old slate.
Chuck said people used to ask me to help them move with my Volkswagen boss.
I mean, it's weird because I never had people ask me that with the Vanagon, and I mean, it is just as good of a vehicle for moving as anything. My wife, I actually bought her a electronic piano. I mean, this is not a keyboard. This is like a real piano. Okay, so we drove all up to Pennsylvania, and I found this thing in a store, and they put this thing in there. I mean, this thing was a big box. It fit right in there, perfect. Right in the sliding door. Slid that sucker in there. Drove it home. Slid it out. I mean, the thing probably weighs like 300 or 400 pounds. I mean, this is a real deal. And it fit perfect. So, I mean, the Vanagon was perfect for moving stuff, but I guess people just didn't think about it that much. So, I really didn't get too much people bugging me. And the nice part was it's completely closed, so I didn't have fools throwing their trash in the back.
Costas was saying about the food, like, just go
Sorry.
to a McDonald's and get a meal. And then he said...
Nice. And I'll just bill him later.
He said, "You can come to Greece and help me with my project, and I'll give you a little bit of water."
Yeah. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that so much. Hey, man, hook me up with some place to stay and some airline tickets, and I'll be heading over that way.
Earlier, Peter Benici said in Oz?
Australia.
In Australia, they don't have official dealers for pickups. A lot of private people bring them in, then convert them to right-hand drives.
Yeah, that's kind of weird to me. I mean, Australia is kind of a decent-sized market, you would think. And people over there would be into pickup trucks, right? I mean, they do a lot of farm work and stuff. You're gonna get a nice infusion of South Africans soon, I've heard. That's what I've heard. I don't know. I could be wrong, but
What?
yeah, South Africans, they're having some slight issues over there, so they might be emigrating to Australia soon. All right, so yeah, you can look that up later. All right, so let's see. I'm just trying to think anything else. Oh, all right. So I'm thinking about this idea. I don't know what you guys think about it. Have you heard of a streaming service called Twitch? Okay, Twitch is a place normally where you stream video games, but they do have, they're expanding, and one of their things is this creator area where you can go in there and stream, you know, creative things. And one of the things is automobile maintenance. And I'm like, ooh, that would be us. Okay, so here's the nice part about Twitch. So if I actually started streaming on Twitch, I would probably stream Twitch and YouTube simultaneously, so anybody that doesn't have Twitch or doesn't have access to it could still watch on YouTube. Okay, but the good part about Twitch is the support thing. So on YouTube, you know, we monetize these things with ads. Our streams, usually it takes a few days for them to okay it for whatever reason, and then once they do, most of the views are gone, and we don't barely get anything, like 25 cents or something. With the Twitch, what's going on there is you can subscribe to people. It costs $5 a month, so it's kind of like the Patreon thing. However, okay, here's the nice part. If you have Amazon Prime already, okay, so you already have Amazon Prime, you're already paying for Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to somebody's channel on Twitch, and they still get the same money. They get $5, and it costs you $0, okay, because it's included with your Amazon Prime subscription. So in other words, like right now we have about 1,500 people who are subscribed to our channel. If I got, like, say 1,000 of those people subscribed over on Twitch, and those people were just already had Amazon Prime, they're like, oh, I'm gonna, every month you have to renew it for Twitch to say I'm going to support Ken Wilford's channel on there. I mean, that would be like $5,000 a month. And it wouldn't cost the viewers any money. Okay? So, what do you guys think about that? I mean, again, I want to make more videos. We're getting into the spring. We're getting into the time when people are going to want to do things with their vans. I enjoy the streaming thing, so it would be streaming on Twitch. And so, you know, it'd be something to think about for the future, possibly. You know, I don't know how long YouTube is going to be around. Twitch is actually growing. YouTube is not growing. It's shrinking a little bit because of the way they're not paying their creators. Okay, so if you pay people money, they stick around. If you don't pay them money, they leave. With us, of course, most of you guys support us with your parts purchases. That's where we get our money, and I definitely appreciate that. Okay, but if I had, you know, more money coming in on the creative side, we could do more videos, which I would really love to do, and kind of, you know, show you guys we appreciate you more and that kind of thing. But it, you know, it would have to be, if I could at least get like $1,000 a month in support, you know, and it wouldn't cost you guys any money, right? It's like a win-win. I get the support, I can make way more videos, and maybe even do like more professional looking ones and that kind of thing, and you guys can enjoy it more. And it doesn't cost you anything. Okay, so I mean, right now we have 3 supporters on Patreon. I definitely appreciate those guys. Chris Snyder, Eric Schneider, sorry about last week, could not remember your name, had a brain embolism thing happen, and also of course Peter Benici. Okay, so definitely appreciate you guys on that. But you know, I think we would get more supporters if it was free for them. So I guess Amazon must pay that $5 a month out of their, you know, out of the person's subscription deal, and it's just a good deal for the creators. Okay, so that's what I feel like. All right, so
Peter Benici said, all true. With the game cricket, tampering with the ball using sandpaper to get the ball to turn.
Okay.
And then Costas said, good idea, but I don't have Amazon Prime. Maybe in the future. Chuck
That's right.
Ott said, I have Amazon Prime and could do that. Costas just said, more money equals more pizza.
That's right. So I'll get real fat. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually trying to be on a diet right now, so I don't know if that's going to work. But
More pizza would not solve that problem.
no, it wouldn't. No. I do like pizza, though. Just letting you know. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people have Amazon Prime, and, you know, they don't watch people play video games on Twitch. I mean, especially you guys. I don't know many of you guys that do that. I mean, I do, but I'm crazy, so. But most people do not, okay? That would be in the Vanagon world. They're about their busy, you know, having a real life instead of worrying about, like, video games and stuff. All right. And I understand Costas doesn't have it in, you know, Greece. I don't think Amazon has made it to Greece yet, so you should probably be happy, thankful for that, in some ways. All right, so I'm trying to think of anything else that's going on. You know, I do have this slideshow that I made. Let me pull that up real quick. I made this slideshow a while ago, and I was trying to use this thing, and it didn't work. So now we're going to do the slideshow.
Oh,
What the heck?
What do you...
That's weird. Okay, now here we go. So this is what I was doing the slideshow before. These are these headlights that we've been talking to you guys about for a while. And of course our headlight covers that we sell. So the H4 headlights, as far as I know, they're still in the... They're not ready for prime time yet. So hopefully, supposedly sometime in April, they're going to be here. That's what was supposed to happen in March. Okay, so we'll see what happens that way. Let me also try to pull up something here on this. Okay, I think it's here. I'm just trying to pull up this one site because... Alright, let me get off of this... well, I don't want you guys to do that. Alright. But these are what the lights are supposed to look like. So if you guys are interested in that, you know, let me know. And of course we also have grills available, which I haven't actually bought any of them yet, but they're going to be available when the lights come out. You can see they even have one that's like D-badged, which is kind of cool. I guess some people like the D-badge situation. And then this is how they're going to come. See, they're mounted on the backing plates already. They're ready to rip. I mean, it's kind of nice. And then I have no clue what that is. That's a Eurovan speedometer cable. Not sure why that's in that thing.
Such
all right.
a random picture.
Isn't that great? It is it's super random. All right, let me transition back. Bam.
Headlights, speedometer cable.
Yeah, it's great. It's a Eurovan speedometer cable. Don't ask me how that got in there. All right, I just want to look up one thing. So our website is coming along too. Our new website that is coming along. Also, Christmas is also coming. So there you go. This is how the website's going, alright? Sadly, it seems like it's taking forever. I told the guys, you know, we needed it done by March, which is tomorrow. So, yeah. Is it going to be done by tomorrow? I highly doubt it. But we'll see what happens here. I just wanted to pull the site up for you guys so you could take a look at where we're at the moment. If I can find the links to it, I will do that. Here we go. Alright. This is what we want to see. Go to this right here. Bam. And then I'll go ahead and pull it up in the thing. Okay, let's do this. If we do that. Oh, stuff and things was happening in this thing, believe me.
So fancy.
No, don't go to that. Go back. Okay. Alright, how are we going to do this? I don't know how you go to the home page of this. Alright, let me show you guys in the thing. Let me go to the desktop deal. Again, bam. And we're going to transition. Okay. And then I will go to this. Alright, so this is our new site that we've been building for a while. And you guys can see, again, you hover over the individual vehicles. We still haven't updated the pictures yet. Some of you guys gave us pictures. I definitely appreciate that, and we're working on that. Once it's done, we're going to integrate those pictures. But you can kind of see what's going on. So say we have a bus. We want to click on accessories. Okay. It'll bring them up down here. Okay. You got the accessories down here. It's in grid format, which it actually wasn't the other day when I was in here. And then you can do stuff. You can click show detail. It's like, you see how cool it is. It's like all animated. It shows everything. It slides over. I mean, it is very close to being done. This is actually, I just looked at it a couple of days ago, and it wasn't anywhere near this polished.
I like the little hover effect.
So,
like whenever you roll over.
When you hover, yep, it's like the picture's cool.
Yes.
Or the thing's kind of like moving
like
around, like it's a little shadow deal. I don't know what that's all about.
It's hovering off the page or something. Like 3D.
You know, so they were importing stuff and working on stuff, and so it should be getting done hopefully this week. Maybe we'll see what happens. It is kind of weird too how some of the years, it doesn't, like, the most stuff is in this air-cooled one for some weird reason, and then you pick some of these other ones and like it's way less. There's way less things, way less whatever these things go, categories or whatever. So I had to see what's going on there. That doesn't seem quite right to me. But, you know, so it's coming along. So, you know, let me know what you guys think about the new site, the new look and things of it. And you can see it's all animated. It's like, this is like the stuff right here.
Super fancy.
And, you know, you got the grid pattern, and then you scroll down the bottom. You can switch to, like, you know, page 1, page 2. And like I said, you can click show detail or put it in the cart. And it's just, it seems like it's a really nicely made thing. It's supposed to be, you know, way faster than the one we have now, which, like, if you had a grandma on the back of a unicycle, that would be faster than my site right now. It's so retardedly slow. Drives me crazy. Yep. Oh, yeah, everything seems to be working, so we'll see how this deal plays out here. So if the new site comes live, you know, in the next week or so, I will definitely be letting you guys know about that, and we can kind of go from there. So let me know what you guys think about the new website. That is the thing that's supposed to happen at any moment. It's going to drop, and then it'll just explode across the internet.
Steve says, "Hey, that's not my van, lol."
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't actually integrated all the vans that you guys sent me, so we'll see what happens. You know, the pictures are going to get changed, and there's a front page. I couldn't figure out how to get to it today, but there's a front page that has all these animations, different pictures of vans and stuff. So I'm going to try to add pictures of people's vans on there and make it look super nice. So we'll see what happens. Alright, so I guess if you don't have any more questions or anything, we're going to call it a day here. It's about 45 after, and we definitely appreciate you guys coming. Please, if you're new, like, subscribe, and share. And, you know, if you guys are listening to us on Saturday morning, please comment and let us know what you think about stuff. If you have any topics you want to talk about, I will ramble on for incessantly about them.
Steve says, also you should have your cart retain history for longer than 2 days, maybe a month. I keep browsing the site and re-adding things.
Okay, I will see about that. This new site is completely custom, so anything we want to do, we should be able to do. The other site was more like, you know, pick this, pick this, pick this, and kind of mash them together and, you know, make something out of it. That's why it's so slow and acts goofy sometimes, because it's kind of like a chimera of thingamadoodlers and stuff. So I can tell them. So how long should the cart last? Like a month?
I mean, he said maybe a month.
Okay, well, I guess we could try. I'll talk to them about that. Actually, I can send them a message about that right now. So.
Costa says, have holidays for 2 weeks. If you need a pic editor, you know where to find one.
Okay, yeah, Costas was helping me out with some picture editing, so I'm just going to send a message to my guy right now. Can the cart history be
last for like a month?
Alright. I'm going to ask them right now. So they're in India. It's probably midnight 30 over there, so yeah.
Woo!
They'll see that tomorrow. They will see that tomorrow. But, you know, I put it in there, so we'll see what happens. Like I said, they should actually be able to do anything that we want, because it is all customized, so We will see what happens. We will see what happens.
T-Boy says, do you know where to specifically drill holes through the tin pushrod shields to drain the block coolant?
Not really. I mean, you would want to take them down, and then you could see, okay, here's where the 2 bolts are, and then you could just drill it while it's off of the car. I mean, that's going to be your best bet to, you know, get it lined up properly. So yeah, I don't know if there's anybody that has like a template that you can get. I don't know how you would even get it. Like, if your printer wasn't set up just right, it might even print wrong or something. But yeah, yep. So I'm not sure about that. All right, that's right. Peter's always watching us instead of watching the Transformers versus the Thundercats on Saturday morning. So
Please tell me they didn't actually do that.
I appreciate that. No, but now they will, because that's the best idea ever.
No.
80s retro stuff and things. The Thundercats versus G.I. Joe versus Transformers.
Voltron?
And riding in a Vanagon.
Oh
Boom.
gosh.
There's Saturday morning gold right there. Alright guys, so I appreciate you guys being out here today. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Get more miles per gallon with your van. And like I said, if you have any things for future broadcasts, we would be glad to, you know, take your ideas and try to work them into future videos. I'm hoping this summer to finish the part 2 of the gas tank video that everybody asks about. So I still have, you know, this person right here with me, and we're gonna dress the same and then just make pretend that it's part 2. No, I was kidding.
I don't even know what I was wearing.
We'll have to see where we ended on that, but I'm sure we'll do a gas tank this summer, or the spring even, and then we'll just record it. I'm actually going to be replacing a gas tank on a bus soon with a new one, so maybe I'll record that, and just for funsies onesies, because that is so much more of a pain than a Vanagon one. It's ridiculous. But yep, so we'll try to finish that up, and then any other ideas for videos you guys have, let me know, and we can do them. I actually even thought about doing some maintenance videos, like how to check your oil properly, how to check your coolant properly. We just went somewhere yesterday to look at a customer's van, and we went there, and the motor was completely seized up and locked up. And I'm pretty sure it's because the oil level went down, and nobody checked it, like, ever. It was kind of crazy. It just must have been burning oil in the motor, and they never checked it until the point where they kept trying to start it, and it was like turning over hard and stuff. And nobody ever thought to check the oil, not even this mechanic shop the guy took it to, until the point where the motor just completely seized up. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I couldn't turn it with a wrench, and I had turned it by hand in the past because I worked on this motor like a while back. And it was a rebuilt motor, it wasn't old, and they just like drove it until the motor just seized up.
How do you not think to check the oil?
And I didn't believe it. They told me, oh yeah, I think the motor's like seized. I'm like, it can't be seized. Like, but yeah, it was seized. And then I checked the oil. It was like, there was nothing on the dipstick. The guy told me, the mechanic told me, I already put a quart in. I'm like, okay, so there's nothing on there now. So you already put a quart in. So that tells me it was at least 2 quarts low. Most likely 3 quarts low. And there's only 4 quarts in there. There's only 4.5 quarts in there. So, you know, yeah. And there was no leaks on the bottom.
Costa says the best oil changes are done in Walmart.
Walmart. Okay.
I mean, what Walmart?
Do they have Walmarts in Greece?
To, but
dang.
That's a fancy Walmart.
The Grecian Walmart.
We give oil changes.
Well, they do have. He's right. I mean, they do oil changes and tires at the super Walmarts.
True.
So, apparently their legend has also spread to Greece.
Peter Benici says fuel tank, not just putting back in this time.
Okay, all right. We're going to do the fuel tank. We'll work on it. I mean, we got the part about coming out, so we just need to go back in.
Come back in.
Yeah. But Peter says we got to do it all over. Start from the start.
Ooh.
So we'll try.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Costa says he knows how bad Walmart is. I mean, they're not really that bad. I actually had him do an oil change and stuff on a Vanagon. It's just any of those quickie oil change places, I don't know.
Feels kinda
It's a
sketchy.
little scary.
Like
They'll like strip out that pan thing on the bottom.
especially
They
at
love
Walmart.
that. Yeah.
Walmarts are known for being like notoriously sketch, especially like at night. You know.
Yep. Oh, they're done in the Walmart parking lot. Yeah, that could be.
I can see that happening.
I mean, I remember one time we did one in an RV park. Remember
yes,
that?
we did. But that was an RV park. That's like, you're there.
And we weren't allowed to do it, I don't think. I don't know. See, when you don't ask questions, you don't have to apologize later. So I went to Walmart. I bought a drain pan. I bought oil. We have our RV. We crawl under there. We drain all the oil out into the oil pan. I mean, it was a cheap oil pan. Like, cost me... And it was one of those ones that you can, like, put a cap on and seal it. And I wrapped it in a giant trash bag and put it in the trash. I didn't really know what else to do. I mean, we were traveling. I didn't have any way of changing the oil otherwise. So, there you go. Alright, guys. So, I guess that's it for today. Now we'll be arrested by the EPA for that confession. They'll take me to the Volkswagen holding area. So I can await my judgment. It's like Volkswagen Purgatory, apparently. Alright, we've talked about that enough. Alright, guys, have a great weekend. Thanks for coming. And come back and be with us next week. And we will see you guys in the next video. Talk to you guys later on.